I've been talking about this project over on X for a year now, but before I unveil the preview, let's go down memory lane. Last year, I received an email. Attached to it was the earliest version of the Neo TTRPG system Skullhorn Edition made by Steven Saunders. After I looked at it, something came over me. He was selling this for 35 USD, and it looks like this. No, you have to be kidding me right now. There's no excuse for releasing a TTRPG in this state and expecting people to buy it. Because of all this, I eventually managed to make Project D100 Fantasy. Here's what we have after almost a year of work. Project D100 Fantasy is a mainly Fire Emblem-inspired TTRPG that uses a version of the Roll Under D100 system. Players are soldiers to a lord, and their mission is to fight for their lord. The game is going to expect the current game to take place during a time of war. As such, who better to cause them and to finish them than the humans? It is inevitable, as it's in human nature to eventually resolve these kinds of things through bloodshed, no matter what era of humanity we are in. But where are the elves? Demi-humans, like elves, are around, but don't expect them to be as diverse as humans in your game world, as most adventuring elves are going to do their best to serve the purpose a human lord wishes of them to do. If this means being a spell-slinging archer, then so be it. Inspirations do not just include the Neo TTRPG system and Fire Emblem. We also have at least 2 more from Lancer and Basic Dungeons and Dragons. Lancer for missions and Basic Dungeons and Dragons for how it handles the non-human races.
Hello, Mark here. God of Ka had really bad recording sessions up to now. And no, he doesn't have time to do better takes, so we are here to help give voice to what he was really trying to say for these parts. I'll be taking over the player character anatomy overview. A player character is comprised of their race, class, abilities, health, and mana, inventory, defenses, and ailments. Your race determines what class you have. Classes determine your health and what features you have access to, affect some of your abilities, and sometimes affects your mana depending on the class. Your abilities are affected in 2 ways, growth chance and scores. Classes affect your growth chances, and your growth chances affect the scores upon a level up. Your scores affect your mana and the 3 defenses respectively. Ailments also join in this fun by also affecting your ability scores, health and mana, and defenses depending on the ailment. And a funny idea, whether this happens in game or not, is if you get up to 10 stacks in a single ailment, you're dead. The only component of a player character that doesn't directly interact with everything else is your inventory. You have 8 slots and an additional gold count section. These 8 slots can be used to store collections of non-combat items, and a single combat item like a weapon, set of armor, accessory, and something like a health potion with 3 uses before it gets added to your collection of empty bottles.
Hello, David here. I'll be taking over for the player character creation chapter. There are 6 steps you take to make your player character. Step 1 is you choose your race. You choose between human and one of the 4 demi-human races of catfolk, elves, forgers, and warlock. If you choose a demi-human race, you skip steps 2 and 3. Your demi-human choice determines these for you. Speaking of, step 2 is determining your initial ability growth chance values. You start with 300 points, and you distribute these points between the 5 growth chance values. Step 3 is choosing your class. You choose from 5 choices for your class. You have Archer, Berserker, Knight, Mage, and Sage. The next step, Step 4, is to determine your ability scores. You roll a D100 5 times, and allocate the results to each of your ability scores. If these scores are not to your liking, you can just reroll one of them, but you only have 3 chances to do so. Once you run out of chances to do so, no takebacks. Following this, Step 5 is calculating the rest of your stats. Remember what Mark said about abilities affecting different aspects of your player character? This is where you do it. Lastly, we have Step 6, and it's to buy your starting equipment. You start with 53 gold, and you spend this gold to get equipment your character can use. If you make a higher level player character, this starting gold is increased by 1 for every level beyond level 1.
Now we are on to Chapter 3, the classes. These are the various options you have at your disposal. I would like to explain each of them, but because I'm making this on a deadline, here's a montage of each page. Please pause the video if you want to read what each of the pages have on them. So that's it for the preview. I have the full version of this current version and more in a Google Drive folder available for all of you for free. If you wish to review this version in the form of a YouTube video, I would appreciate some feedback so I can include it in a more up-to-date version. With all that said, this is God of Ka signing off.